Every single day, billions of birds take to the sky. They ride invisible highways of air. They feel forces that our instruments can barely measure. They have been doing this perfectly for over 150 million years. In Surah An-Nahl, chapter 16, verse 79, Allah says, "Do they not see the birds suspended in the sky? Nothing holds them up except Allah." That word, musakharat, is profound. It doesn't just mean flying. It means subjected, held in submission, controlled by a force greater than themselves. And then the question, what holds them up? In the 7th century, there was no answer that science could give. The common assumption was simply, birds flap their wings and somehow they stay up. End of story. But the Quran doesn't say that. The Quran points to something invisible, something deliberate, something divine, holding them in that space between earth and sky. And now, in the 21st century, we actually know what that something is. It is called lift. And it is one of the most elegant phenomena in all of physics. Let's talk aerodynamics for a moment, because you need to understand this to truly feel the weight of what the Quran said. When a bird spreads its wings, something remarkable happens to the air around it. A bird's wing is not flat, it's curved, thicker at the front, tapering at the back. This shape is called an airfoil. When air flows over this curved surface, the air on top must travel a slightly longer distance than the air on the bottom. To cover that longer path in the same amount of time, the air on top speeds up. And here is where Bernoulli's principle comes in, one of the foundational laws of fluid dynamics. Faster moving air creates lower pressure. So the top of the wing has lower pressure. The bottom of the wing has higher pressure, and that pressure difference, that invisible imbalance in the air, pushes the wing upward. That push is lift. No engine, no propeller, just the shape of a wing moving through air, and the laws of physics do the rest. But wait, it gets even more extraordinary. A bird is not a fixed-wing aircraft. A bird's wing is alive. It bends, twists, folds, and adjusts dozens of times per second in response to air pressure, wind speed, and the bird's own muscular impulses. Modern aerospace engineers are still studying bird wings to improve drone technology, airplane design, and wind turbine blades. We are, today, learning from birds. And the Quran said 1,400 years ago, look at the birds. Pay attention. There is something happening there. Now, let us go to another verse. Surah Al-Mulk, chapter 67, verse 19. Do they not see the birds above them, spreading their wings and folding them in? None holds them up except the most merciful. Indeed, he is ever-seeing of all things. Notice the beautiful precision in this verse. 2 words describe the motion of the wings. Safat, spreading, extending the wings wide. Yakbidna, folding, contracting the wings. This is not poetic metaphor. This is technical description. Modern ornithologists, scientists who study birds, divide the flight stroke into exactly 2 phases. The downstroke, where the wing spreads wide and pushes down against the air to generate both lift and thrust. And the upstroke, where the wing folds in close to the body to reduce drag and reset for the next stroke. The Quran describes this precise 2-phase mechanical motion spreading and folding in a single verse, and then says, "None holds them up except Ar-Rahman, the most merciful." Here, the name of Allah used is not just Allah, it is Ar-Rahman, the infinitely compassionate, the giver of mercy to all creation, believers and unbelievers alike. As if to say, every bird in the sky, every hawk, every sparrow, every migratory goose crossing continents is being held aloft by mercy, by an act of divine, sustaining care. The physics is real. The mercy is also real. Both are true at once. There is a third passage worth exploring. Surah Saba, chapter 34, verse 10. "And we subjected the mountains to glorify along with Dawood, and the birds." The birds glorify. Now, what does modern science say about birds? When starlings murmurate, when they move in those massive, hypnotic, shape-shifting clouds of thousands of birds, scientists have studied them intensely, and what they found is almost incomprehensible. Each bird reacts to the movement of its 7 nearest neighbors, instantly, without a leader, without a signal, without coordination that we can detect. The flock moves as if it has one mind. Physicists at the University of Rome who studied this phenomenon used the same mathematical models used to describe the behavior of matter at the point of a phase transition, like water becoming ice, a state where every molecule is perfectly correlated with every other molecule across the entire system. They called it a scale-free correlation. 7 neighbors, perfect information transmission across a flock of 1,000,000 birds. No one knows why 7. No one fully understands the mechanism. The birds know something we don't. And they do it in constant, coordinated motion, together, in a kind of living symphony through the air. If that is not tasbih, glorification expressed in physics, what is it? Let us take one final piece of scientific evidence, because this one is simply breathtaking. Every year, the Arctic tern migrates from the Arctic to the Antarctic and back. That's a round trip of approximately 90,000 kilometers, over 55,000 miles. Using GPS trackers, scientists discovered that the Arctic tern does not fly in a straight line. It follows a winding, S-shaped route because it is riding the prevailing wind systems of the globe. It uses almost no extra energy. It surfs the atmosphere. And the bar-tailed godwit, another migratory bird, flies non-stop from Alaska to New Zealand. 11,000 kilometers, non-stop, over open ocean, with no food, no rest, no landmark. Scientists tracked one individual bird. It flew for 11 days straight. It halved its body weight. It shrunk its organs, its liver, its kidneys to save fuel, then rebuilt them upon landing. No GPS, no map, no technology. Just a bird. And as the Quran says, none holds them up except Allah. The physics is real. The navigation is real. The endurance is real. And something in each of these creatures knows exactly where to go, exactly how to get there, and exactly when to turn. We have a name for the physics. We don't fully have a name for the knowledge inside the bird. So, what are we left with? The Quran, revealed in the 7th century in the Arabian Peninsula,
describes bird flight using two specific technical terms that map onto the precise two-phase aerodynamic stroke that modern ornithology identifies. It asks us to look, to observe, to see in the suspended bird a sign. Not just a pretty image, a sign. The Arabic word used is ayat, the same word used for a verse of the Quran. The bird in the sky is a verse. The words on the page are a verse. Both point to the same author. Modern aerodynamics gives us Bernoulli's principle. It gives us lift equations, drag coefficients, and computational fluid dynamics. All of these are descriptions of how the bird stays up. The Quran doesn't compete with these descriptions. It doesn't replace them. It encompasses them, and then asks,